Howdy, folks, and a genuine welcome to everyone tuning in across our beautiful Overton County.
Hey there.
Whether you're maybe out fishing on Dale Hollow Lake this morning, or perhaps hiking it up around Standing Stone.
Beautiful spot.
Oh, it is. Or maybe just sitting on your porch swing there in Birdstown. We're mighty glad you're spending a little time with us today.
Yeah, it's a real pleasure connecting with y'all here in this this special part of Tennessee.
You know how it is sometimes. Life can kind of feel like you're stuck in a low gear, just chugging along,
Yeah.
but not quite getting where you want to go. That feeling right here at home that things could be better, but the how-to is a little fuzzy.
Absolutely. We've all been there, that sense of, aspirating for more, but without a clear roadmap. It's common,
Yeah.
and it's something we can definitely talk about right here and now.
Well, listen up, friend. Get this. Big leaps, they don't always take them giant strides we think they do.
Right.
Sometimes it's them little bitty shifts, the kind that might not even seem like much at first, that end up making the biggest difference down the road.
That's such a powerful truth.
Yeah.
It really is. We often overestimate what we can do in like one big burst,
Yeah.
and we totally underestimate the cumulative impact of small, consistent actions. It's interesting. Research actually shows these small steps can trigger dopamine, creating this positive feedback loop that makes sticking with a new habit just a whole lot easier.
And that's really what we're going to be digging into today. Our aim, in this deep dive is to look at how making just a handful of focused changes for just a short spell, say just 1 week,
Just a week.
can be a real game changer for folks right here in Overton County. We've been looking at some good learning, especially a message from Jim Ron and some notes on his ideas. He talked a lot about the power of consistent daily disciplines.
Yeah, Ron's philosophy, it really connects with this idea. His whole emphasis on personal development as a daily practice.
Right.
It's not about some, grand overnight thing, but the compound effect of those small, steady improvements.
Okay, so let's get into this first key notion. Starting small with just one thing. Now, I know, it might sound too simple,
But it's not.
but think about it. The biggest pitfall, the place folks stumble when they're trying to make things better, is trying to overhaul just about everything at once.
Oh, absolutely.
It's like trying to learn the banjo, the fiddle, and the guitar all in the same week. Just can't be done well.
Exactly. That initial burst of enthusiasm, it's great, but it can lead us to make this huge list of changes. And then it just gets overwhelming fast. And then you kind of throw in the towel.
Yeah, you do.
So focusing on just one habit, it lets you direct all your energy, all your attention right there, makes it much more likely you'll stick with it.
Right. So what our sources are kind of suggesting is picking just one habit, one thing that truly matters to you right now.
To you personally.
What's that one little thing that, if you could just do it consistently for a week, would give you a real sense of accomplishment? A little win under your belt.
And the beauty of it is it lowers the barrier. It makes it easier to start.
Yeah.
The smaller the action, the less resistance you'll feel from yourself, making it easier to get going and, maybe more importantly, keep going. Think about James Clear. Writing just one page a day seems tiny, all right?
Seems like nothing.
But those pages, they add up to a whole book before you know it.
So we're talking about choosing something so tiny, so darn manageable, that you can hardly find an excuse not to do it.
Make it almost ridiculously easy.
Maybe it's doing one exo push-up each morning. Or reading just 3 or 4 pages of a good book before turning off the lights.
Or maybe just a short 5-minute walk around your block there in Jamestown. Simple.
Right, something you can't easily talk yourself out of.
Yeah, because that helps you overcome that initial inertia and build momentum. And here's a little something extra. When you keep hitting those tiny goals, it actually starts to change how you see yourself. You begin to see yourself as someone who can follow through, even on small things.
And this is where it gets good. It's about keeping that promise you make to yourself. When you say you're going to do that one little thing and you actually do it day after day,
Yeah.
you start building this bedrock of self-trust.
Yeah.
And that self-trust, well, that becomes its own fuel, doesn't it? Its own motivation to keep going.
That internal sense of reliability, knowing you can count on yourself, it's incredibly powerful. It shifts your identity, like we said, from someone who wants to change to someone who is changing, even in these little ways.
All right, now let's move on to this idea. The power of them little stints you take every single day.
Consistency.
Yeah, our sources are clear as a mountain spring on this. Lasting change ain't about waiting for some big revelation, or some huge event.
Nope. It's not a lightning strike.
It comes from that steady, consistent effort, like a little creek
Yeah.
eventually carving a path through even the toughest stone, right?
Exactly. It's the cumulative effect.
Yep.
Those small daily actions add up to real, sustainable transformation over time, like Jerry Seinfeld, don't break the chain method,
Yeah, I've heard of that.
for writing jokes.
Yeah.
Every day, do the task, mark the calendar, build an unbroken streak. Don't break that chain.
And we can see that principle working right here in Overton County, can't we?
Sure can.
Maybe it's tending to your garden for 15 minutes every evening down in Livingston, or making one sales call for your business there in Cookeville every single morning. It's that regular rhythm.
That visual of the chain, it's a powerful motivator. Makes you think twice about skipping a day.
Right.
You know?
Yeah, because you don't want to break it.
Right. And what's interesting is how these small actions often kind of sneak past our natural resistance to change.
Sneak past. How so?
Well, because they don't feel like a big deal, our brain is less likely to put up a fight. It doesn't trigger that, oh no, this is too hard reaction.
Okay. That makes sense. So the challenge here is to pinpoint just one small daily action
One thing.
that's directly linked to something you truly want to improve. Maybe it's your finances, maybe your energy level so you can enjoy them grandkids more.
Yeah.
Or just that feeling of confidence when you look in the mirror.
And it's really vital, folks, to keep some kind of record. Doesn't have to be fancy.
No.
A simple check mark on a calendar in the kitchen, a note in your phone. Just seeing that consistent effort, it reinforces the behavior. It strengthens that self-belief we talked about.
Celebrate them little wins.
Oh, absolutely. Each check mark each day you stick with it, that's a win. That's a step in the right direction.
Let's tackle something we all tangle with. Them pesky
Oh,
distractions.
boy. Yeah.
Seems like the world's just plumb full of things trying to steal our attention these days. That little screen in our pocket.
Always buzzing.
The TV glowing in the corner, it's constant.
It is. The constant stream of notifications, stimuli, it makes it incredibly difficult to stay focused on what really matters. Our attention, it's become a really valuable resource.
And our sources, they wisely point out, if you don't grab hold of the reins and decide where your focus is going to go, well, the world will gladly steer it for you, usually towards things that don't really serve you in the long run.
That's a crucial insight. We got to be proactive, manage our attention, create intentional space for focused work instead of just reacting to every ping and buzz.
Like Cal Newport talks about, right? That deep work.
Exactly. Creating blocks of uninterrupted time for those cognitively demanding tasks.
And the good news here, folks, is you don't have to lock yourself away in a cabin up on the Cumberland Plateau for a week.
No. Not necessary.
Our sources suggest starting with just a chunk, maybe 30 minutes a day, of that real, undistracted effort on one important task.
Just 30 minutes.
Turn off them notifications on your phone. Maybe let the family know, hey, I need a little quiet time right there in the living room.
Even that short period, that focused work, it can yield surprising results. It's often about the quality of your attention.
Quality, not quantity.
Not just the quantity of time. And here's a practical tip. Try tracking how you actually spend your time for just one day.
Oh, that could be eye-opening.
It really can.
Yeah.
You might be surprised how much of it gets eaten up by distractions you weren't even fully aware of.
All right, let's switch gears a bit. Let's talk about something that's, well, it's the bedrock of everything else. Your health.
Foundational.
And listen, close friend, this ain't some luxury item. Good health, as our sources emphasize, it's the very foundation you got to build your best life on.
Absolutely.
If your foundation's shaky, nothing else is going to stand tall for long.
Exactly. It's the engine, right? It powers your energy, your focus, your ability to pursue all these goals we're talking about. Neglecting your health. It's like trying to drive a truck with low tires.
Yeah, good analogy. You might get somewhere, but
It's going to be a bumpy ride, and you won't get nearly as far.
just think about it. When you're feeling worn out, under the weather, your mind gets cloudy.
Foggy.
Your decisions get fuzzy. And that can send ripples through every part of your life, right here in Overton County and beyond.
The connection between our physical well-being and our mental sharpness, it's just undeniable. When you feel good physically, you're simply better equipped.
Better equipped to handle challenges.
Stay motivated, make sound decisions.
Yeah.
You know, Arianna Huffington's story about burnout? That's a powerful reminder, isn't it? The importance of prioritizing self-care before you hit the wall.
So again, we're talking about them small daily habits. Nothing overwhelming.
Keep it simple.
Maybe it's a 20-minute walk around the courthouse square down in Livingston. Maybe it's being more mindful about drinking that good, clean water from the Dale Hollow tap.
Good water there.
Yeah.
Or maybe just aiming for an extra 30 minutes of sleep each night.
Yeah.
Seems small, but it adds up.
Yeah.
And these seemingly small acts of self-care, they send a powerful message to yourself. They say, I am worth investing in.
That's important, that self-respect.
It fuels a stronger mind, greater resilience when life throws you curveballs.
Okay, finally. Let's talk about seeing the progress you're making, even when it feels like you're just inching forward.
Acknowledging the journey.
Yeah, because our sources highlight that most folks, they only give themselves a pat on the back for them big, showy achievements.
The finish line moments.
Right. But it's them quiet little wins, the ones you might not even consciously notice sometimes. Those are what really keep you on the path.
Acknowledging and celebrating those small victories is absolutely vital.
Yeah.
It keeps the motivation going. It builds that positive feedback loop we mentioned earlier.
Yeah.
It reinforces the idea that your efforts are paying off, even if it's in ways you don't see right away.
Remember old Benjamin Franklin? Way back when. He had that system.
Tracking his virtues.
Yeah, for keeping track of his virtues. A real early form of habit tracking. And like our sources tell us, what gets tracked gets improved.
It's true.
Just seeing that little bit of progress, whether it's a check mark on a list or a few more minutes you manage to focus, that builds momentum. It keeps that fire in your belly burning.
That visual proof of your efforts, it's tangible evidence of your commitment and growth. It can be especially helpful on those days when you feel maybe a little discouraged.
We'll have those days.
Or like you haven't made any headway. So start yourself a simple habit tracker. Could be a fancy app, sure, or just a notebook by your bedside.
Keep it simple.
And each day, jot down one small win. No matter how tiny it seems. Maybe you resisted checking your phone during focus time.
That's a win.
Maybe you stuck to your one small health habit. That's a win too.
These little documented wins, day after day, they start to weave a new story about yourself, don't they?
They really do.
A story of progress, a story of change, right here in Overton County.
And that shift in your own self-perception, that's a powerful catalyst for more growth.
So just to quickly look back, these 5 key habits we've explored for making real changes. First, start small with that one thing that truly matters to you.
Just one.
Second, embrace the power of them small steps you take consistently every single day.
Day in, day out.
Third, learn to tame them pesky distractions and guard your focus like it's gold.
Protect that attention.
Fourth, always remember your health is your foundation, friend. Take care of it.
Non-negotiable.
And lastly, make sure you're seeing your progress, even the little bits, by tracking those small wins.
See it, celebrate it. These 5 principles, when you weave them into your daily life, even in these small ways, they can create a really significant, lasting, positive impact.
Now, I'm talking straight to you folks listening right now in Overton County. What if you decided to try just one of these things for the next 7 days?
Just 7 days.
Just one little shift in your routine. How might things feel different right here at home, right here in our community, just 1 week down the road?
It's about taking that first manageable step. Experience the positive momentum it can generate. You might just surprise yourself.
Folks in Overton County, I'm calling on you. Pick just one of these things this very day. Just one small step towards what you want. Do it every day for a week. I reckon you'll be mighty pleased, maybe even surprised at the difference it makes right here in our little corner of Tennessee.
Give it a shot.
And hey, if you found something useful in our conversation today, would you do us a favor? Tap that like button, maybe leave a comment to share your thoughts with your neighbors.
Oh, I'd love to hear them.
And subscribe so you don't miss out on more insights for our community right here in Overton County.
Yeah, your engagement really helps us share these ideas with more folks who might benefit. We appreciate y'all.
And now, Lord, we just lift up all the good folks listening here in Overton County. Bless their efforts, Lord, as they try to grow and improve. Grant them strength and peace as they take these steps. And please just guide their paths each and every day. Amen.